When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at Jewel International, Gordon D. Melville.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being with me with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. Of course, that's me on Inspired Choices Network. And today we're talking about reconning your life, doing a quick deep dive into self-awareness. Self-awareness, most people don't have a lot of it. Matter of fact, even leaders, they say statistically 10 to 15% have self-awareness, which is why we have some struggles with our leadership. Having leaders that have some understanding of themselves so that they can understand other people. We're going to go deep into that today. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm excited for you to find me on Inspired Choices Network, but I'm excited for you to find me on Google TV and Apple TV and Roku and Amazon Fire and iHeartRadio and all the places that you would go to find. Bring your friends. We're trying to get, and I would like engagement. We've got literally an embarrassment of riches in terms of our reach. On 450 platforms, more than 450 platforms, we've got more than 500 million in reach. And so what I want from that is engagement. I want more people to plug into this. We need more people to understand what's going on and how to be effective in their life. How do they move themselves forward? And you've heard me say, if you want to move yourself forward, you're probably not listening to me anymore. Pardon me, if you want to move yourself forward, you are listening to me. If you don't want to move yourself forward and you're happy where you are, you probably have shut me off already, because I'm not here to polish your trophies. And you've heard me say that a bunch. I will pick you up, dust you off, pat you on the back, and encourage you to move forward if that's what you're looking to do. But I'm not here to polish your trophies. I'm here to rattle your cage and shake your chain and go, hey, come on, let's go. Let's go. You want to move forward? You want to get better? You want to improve? Then you have to do something different. Did you use your best mind to get to where you are today? I suspect yes. I've never had anybody say no. Then the next question is, are you where you want to be? Is this where you want to be in your life? Because we're all at the level we are at for a reason. I had a meeting with the general manager of the pro basketball team this morning. And we were talking about that. People are at the level we're at for a reason. Those players are at this level for a reason. But we're where we are in our life for a reason. The choices and decisions we've made, good, bad, or otherwise, have put us where we are. That requires self-awareness to know that and embrace that and own that at 100%. If we can't do it, we need to be able to do that introspection. And so we're going to talk about that in some depth today. So if you know who I am, you know I'm still the happy beard, the long bearded guy. But if you don't know me, I am on a mission to positively impact the lives of every man I meet by raising their emotional quotient. And if you hear me say that, it's EQ, emotional intelligence. It's not really an intelligence per se, literally, and that's a different show. But it is a quotient. And so I want to raise it, because when we raise our emotional quotient, you're going to hear it a bunch today. Self-awareness requires an emotional quotient. When we raise our EQ, when we understand our own self-awareness, when we can look inside and figure out and be aware of our foibles and our strengths and our weaknesses and all the different bits and pieces about ourselves, it makes us way more effective in our life. It gives us better relationships, and we're going to talk about benefits of it today. But I'm a resiliency and legacy and resiliency strategist. I'm a champion performance catalyst for that pro basketball team. And I'm a multi-award winning international best-selling author multiple times. Obviously, I executive produce and host this live radio show. It's a podcast. It's a TV show. And you know what? If you can like, love, and share, it helps the algorithm, of course, but it helps us pay for this show. But it helps us get the engagement out. So like this, love it, share it. If you're seeing us wherever you're seeing us, on YouTube or LinkedIn or Amazon, like any of the places you're seeing us, Facebook, please share it. Please share it. I want that engagement, and thank you for doing that. I appreciate you being here. I serve primarily pro athletes and elite entrepreneurial men, but I'll talk with anybody. I want to help. We got to get the message out. We got to get the message out. As a suicide survivor, I have a very huge soft spot for mental awareness. And you'll hear me say awareness. We're going to talk today about self-awareness, but I talk about mental awareness as opposed to mental health, mental illness, because I think there's a lot of things under that umbrella, under that mental awareness, things that have to do with our mind and our brain that have nothing to do with mental health or mental illness. It's a huge umbrella. It incorporates mental health, mental illness, but that's not the only thing there. So you'll hear me talk a lot about mental awareness. So as we get going here today, and I didn't give you lots of time, I do have my special mug. I do have, but we're going to have a journal. Do you have something to write on, something to write with? You're going to hear some stuff, you want to write it down. We can only retain less than 10% even if we take good notes. And at some point you want to review those. I was talking to somebody yesterday who goes, I've had this journal for forever. I haven't gone back and looked in it. I'm like, why don't you write it down? Go back and review it. Did you review it? Got to go back and review it. So self-awareness, recon your life. Look at your own life. What does that mean? Recon your life. Look into your own life. Inspect, examine your own life. That requires introspection. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is a conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires, according to Oxford Language. Conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires is self-awareness. That's EQ. That's EQ. Another definition: the ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, or emotions do or don't align with your internal standards. If you are highly self-aware, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, again, EQ, align your behavior with your values, and understand correctly how others perceive you. I'll read that one again. The ability to focus on yourself and how your actions, thoughts, and emotions do or do not align with your internal standards. If you are highly self-aware, you can objectively evaluate yourself, manage your emotions, align your behavior with your values, and understand correctly how others perceive you. Simply stated, those who are highly self-aware can interpret their actions, feelings, and thoughts objectively. Those who are highly self-aware can interpret their actions, that's introspection, and feelings and thoughts objectively. Objectively, I have to be able to stand back from it and look at it and go, yes, I know exactly what's going on. I'm going to be honest with myself. I have to be honest with myself. Can we do that? Do you have the courage to do that? Most people do not. Less than 3% of the population does any kind of personal development. Less than 3%. And 95% of people, college grads, so forget if you only went to high school or you dropped out, college grads, 95% of college grads never pick up a book and read again the rest of their life. And we wonder why the world is in the state it's in. We need to figure our stuff out. We need to understand our own stuff, our own self-awareness. Who am I being? And you've heard me say over and over and over, everybody else's opinion of me does not matter. It's none of my business. The perception, what others' perception of us, really, I don't care. Personally, I don't care. They're going to see what they're going to see. If I do it exactly the way they think I'm supposed to, somebody else thinks I screwed up or they did it wrong, and vice versa. If I'm always sort of I'm never going to please everybody, that's a fool's errand trying to please everybody. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be me. I'm going to be unabashedly, unapologetically me. I know I'm self-aware. I know what my strengths and weaknesses are. I know where I can excel, and I know where there's less than, and I'm not, that doesn't make me less than as a human being. It just means I have strengths and weaknesses just like everybody else. I know what those are, though. I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. I know where I can push forward, and I know where I need to reach out and go, hey, you know what? I need help. And just for the record, asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. I'm going to say that again because a lot of us, especially men, go, oh, I'm going to do it myself. I can get it done myself. We're independent, right? Men always read the instructions after they screwed up putting whatever it is together. Well, I guess I'll go back and read this. Why? We don't need help. We don't want to ask for help. We don't want to ask for directions. I do. I learned the hard way. Excuse me. But most people don't. Most guys don't. So understanding, hey, you know what? It's a strength to ask for help for my weaknesses. My strengths can continue to move forward, but I need to have awareness of that. And then I need to be honest with myself, right? The biggest sale we make is BSing ourselves and lying to ourselves about what our strengths and weaknesses are. Oh, I can do this. Maybe yeah, maybe no. And I'm not trying to diminish, hey, you want to try? Try. Put it out there. But even Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try. Do or do not. That's pretty cut and dry, black and white. I'm not saying there isn't room for try. You want to attempt because you know what? A lot of times in the attempt is where we learn to grow. In the attempt is how we learn, right? When we're on a mountaintop, we don't need anybody else. We don't need help. We don't need papa. We don't need anybody on a mountaintop, right? Well, look at me, look at me, look at me. Where we learn, sadly, as humans, is in the valley. At the bottom, when I need to look up, that's when we start to self-evaluate. That's when we start to be self-aware. Okay, wait a second, what's going on in my life? And we start to look inside. The answers are inside because Papa's inside. Our life is inside. Do we know what that sounds like? Can we make that distinction between what's there, what's us, and what's Papa? Right? The Jiminy Cricket thing, right? They say, a devil and angel on each shoulder. Are we listening to those? Do we know what the difference in those two voices is? Do we know what the difference in our own voice is? Do we hear criticism and critique of ourselves in somebody else's voice? Do you hear your mom talk? Do you hear your dad talk? Do you hear a relative talk? Do you hear somebody other than you, their voice, when it's criticizing yourself? We need to have self-awareness. We can't be situationally aware outside of ourselves if we don't understand who we are inside of ourselves. We're going to talk about this through the whole segment today, through the whole episode today. We're going to talk in the next segment. I got to take a quick break, but we're going to talk about the benefits. Why would I want to be self-aware? We're going to talk about some benefits in the next segment. And I want to pump out because you know what? Next week, we're going to talk, and it's going to dovetail with what we're talking about this week. So you want to come again next week. Choice, not chance, determines our success is what we're going to talk about next week. Because it's all about our choices. We have the ability. It's not chance. It's not just willy-nilly, whatever's going to, no. Right? You'll hear me say, make it another great day, not have a nice day. For that very reason, it's not have a nice day. Well, I'll make the best of whatever happens. No, make it what you want it to be. We were gifted the ability to do that. We were gifted the ability as the only living thing that can reinvent ourselves every day if we want, every half a day, every minute of every day if we want. And we abdicate the power. We abdicate it. We go, you know what? It is what it is. This is what's in the stars. This is what's in my cards. That's crap. It's crap. You can make it what you want it to be. It's a choice. Choose. And again, if you're happy where you are, congratulations. Most people are not. But if you're happy where you are, great. But you're probably not listening to me anymore. Because I'm going to keep pushing and punching you in the face and punching you in the throat. I'm going to put a phone book on your body first before I hit it with a bat so there's no marks. But I'm trying to get your attention. If you want to move forward, you got to do something different than you're doing now. That's all I'm saying. And whether it's me or somebody else, plug into somebody at this network. Plug into it. It's free to plug in. There's so many resources out there. Gord, I can't afford the $40 or $35 for a book. Bullshit. But maybe, but there's lots of free resources out there. But don't tell me you can't afford it and then go and spend $100 on the weekend, partying and having fun. That means the priority's out of whack, or the priority is not on personal development. You can say it's important, but where you spend your time and your money, that's what's important to you. That's the priority, regardless of what your mouth says. Go back 2 weeks and listen to that show. That's what it's talking about. Priorities. What's the priority? Anyway, I need to take a quick break. I'm going to do a quick shout out for Jose Escobar as the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the Connected Leaders Academy membership to take your business to the next level. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. Literally 17, 18, 19 countries around the world. There's about 450, 460 entrepreneurs. Everybody is a founder of a company. Everybody. It's incredible, really good place to level up. But you can reach him, set up your virtual coffee with him today at entrepreneursbookshelf.com. And that's Jose Escobar. Incredible, incredible group. And it will level you up. If you're looking to get on more stages, you're looking to talk to more people, you're looking to be on podcasts, you're looking to have your own podcast, you're looking to anything like this, it's a great place to go if you're an entrepreneur. So check out Jose, and don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about the benefits of having a higher self-awareness. Why would we want to do that? What's the benefit of that? Don't go anywhere. By the way, don't forget, as we take a quick break here, don't forget to pause and breathe. Pause and breathe. It grounds yourself. It grounds you and allows in the information and process the information you're hearing to let it go in. So pause and breathe to ground yourself and to focus. I'll be right back here with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. See you in a minute.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being here. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. That's me. And today we're talking about reconning your life. We're doing a deep dive into self-awareness. And before I go any further, I missed at the beginning, I want to be thankful. I want to show respect. It's Red Fridays. It's Red Friday. R-E-D, red. Remember everyone deployed. I'm wearing pink. It's got red on the cuffs, I guess. But Red Friday, I want to remember everybody deployed. They're willing to stand in the fray. They're willing to stand in front of us and protect us so that we can do whatever we think is important in our lives. They're willing to stand there for us. I want to show love and respect to that. It's very important, very close and near and dear to my heart. So I want to make sure I remember you know what? We respect and we love you, and thank you so much. Deep gratitude for what you do. Okay. Reconning your life, deep dive. So we were talking about the definition of self-awareness, right? What does that mean to be self-aware? And we had said the simple version of it was those who are highly self-aware can interpret their actions, feelings, and thought objectively. That's a version. I want to point that out. That's a version of EQ. That's a version of emotional quotient. You hear me talk all the time about raising our EQ, raising our emotional quotient. My mission is to raise the EQ, the emotional quotient of men, of pro athletes. Why? Because everything gets better. Their life gets better. Your life will get better. Part of that is self-awareness. Self-awareness. There's two types of self-awareness. Two types. One is public. So being able and being aware of who we can appear to others. And you've heard me say, I don't care. But part of my thing in terms of public self-awareness is knowing how I show up, how I am perceived, or how I appear to other people. So they're going to take into consideration when they see me, they're going to go, okay, weird hair, right? Weird hair, shaved head, man bun. Is that popular? Is that fashionable? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I do it for me, not for anybody else. But people are going to make a perception. They're going to make a judgment on my appearance. So being aware of how we appear. When I get dressed, I put my hat on, right? That softens the look a little bit, but that helps with the appearance. I'm choosing, and we all get to do that. You get to choose how you appear, how people are going to see you. Now, are they going to, if you asked 100 people looking at a picture of me, hey, tell me what you see. We're going to get 100 different ideas, right? We're going to get, because everybody has an idea. Everybody brings their own biases, their own interpretation, their own life experience to view what they're seeing. And they're going to have a judgment about that one way or another. It's going to be good, bad, or otherwise. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care how they perceive me, but to be aware, there's a public type of self-awareness. How I appear to other people. And if that's important to you, you get people that, well, I got to have a name brand, or I have to have the most up-to-date, or I've got to look in some way, whether it's athletic, it's chic. There's people that have to look a certain way, but there's a self-awareness around that. That's the public image, the public piece of how you appear. The other type of self-awareness is private. Being able to notice and reflect on one's own internal state. That's introspection. Introspection, I have to be able to, the private type of self-awareness is the introspection version. Being able to look inward on your own. This is how I appear to me. This is who I'm being. Again, come back to the same words over and over and over. Who am I being? Not what do I do? When I ask, hey, who you be? And they tell me, oh, I'm a lawyer. No, that's not who you be. That's what you do. That's not who you be. Who are you being requires self-awareness. Being able to notice and reflect on one's own internal state. One's own internal. If I don't know what I'm doing and if I don't know who I'm being, it's very difficult to figure out what and who anybody else is being. It's very difficult to interact with anybody else because I don't understand. I don't have self-awareness. I need to have self-awareness. Why do I need to have self-awareness? How come? I need self-awareness because if I have some, that internal inspection, I'm happier. I have better relationships. Again, we're talking EQ. I've raised my EQ, my emotional quotient, and my emotional intelligence has gone up. I have a sense of personal and social control. And you've heard me say, it says a sense of, it doesn't say control, a sense of personal and social control. Why? Because I'm understanding what's happening around me. Again, I can't control is an illusion. You heard me say it all the time. If you have children or pets, you know very quickly, instantly, hey, control is an illusion. It's not real. You can't control anything outside of what you think and what you do. That's all, period. You can like it, not like it. You can agree or not agree. It doesn't change what is. You can influence people around you. You can influence your animal, your pet. You can influence your children. But at the end of the day, they're going to poop their pants, crap all over the place in a diaper, shoot it up their back. They're going to do that regardless of you. That's not what you wanted. I'll guarantee it. Especially as you're running out of the house, because usually it happens at an inopportune time, right? You got everything ready. It takes you forever to get it all ready. You get it all ready, and as you're going out the door, all over the place. You got to stop, undress, wash them, bath them, complete change of clothes. You didn't plan for that because you can't control that. But a sense of personal and social control, if I understand who I'm being, if I have self-awareness, but I have to be able to do introspection. When was the last time you sat with just you? When was the last time you sat and just meditated on you? When was the last time you sat and journaled? This is who I'm being. Who am I being? What's your self-awareness around yourself? Around you, not about anybody else, not what anybody else thinks. Don't write down, hey, my mom thinks I'm this, and my boss thinks I'm this, and my significant other. No. That's wonderful to know, but at the end of the day, that's not what we're talking about. That's still public. That's public self-awareness, private self-awareness. I want introspection on me. When was the last time you sat and figured out who you're being? Being self-aware. Where are your strengths? Have you ever done a SWOT on yourself? SWOT. Do you know what that is? In business, we do SWOT. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats is a SWOT. SWOT. Capitals. SWOT. SWOT. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Do you do that for yourself? That part, self-awareness, understanding, hey, you know what? Where is the opportunity? Where am I strong? Where am I not strong? And then being able to be honest with yourself, to be able to step into that, to be able to work through that. Awareness of you. It's huge, huge. A lot of things come from that. If you know who you're being, the next thing from that, again, on self-awareness is what your worth and value is. And again, go back and watch other episodes. You'll come across lots of other episodes that talk about what your worth and value is. Where does it come from? Where do you get it? How do you strengthen it? How do you grasp onto that and hold on to it so that you understand who you're being, you understand what your worth and value is, in which case you now have alignment on who you're being, right? Who you're being and what your worth is gives you alignment. And now what you do becomes an extension of who you be. And the mindset that's created of that has flow. That's utopia. Flow, where life's not easy, but it flows. Things start to just show up. They're already there in quantum and fourth dimension if you understand any of that. But the point is, I have to be self-aware. I have to understand what is to be able to move myself forward. I have to understand what's sitting there. What did I pull out of? What was given to me? Strength-wise, weaknesses-wise, again, on a SWOT, opportunity and threat, the O and the T, right? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. What's going to stop me from getting where I want to go? What are the opportunities? Is that in alignment with where I want to go and where I want to be? Maybe yeah, maybe no. This is such a deep, we could discuss this forever and ever and ever. There's so much on this topic. There really is. Because it's such a huge thing and most people don't, a combination of not aware of it. I got told again this week twice by two different people, Gord, most people don't understand they have a choice. Most people don't understand there's opportunities to grow. They can change what is. They don't even realize there's tools to do that. They don't even realize it's an opportunity. I'm here to tell you it's an opportunity. Go get it. You have the courage to get it because it's hard. It's brutal. It's nasty. It's messy. It's painful. I guarantee you it's worth it. I will guarantee you it's worth it. I got to take another quick break. But don't forget, next week, we're going to talk about choice, not chance, determines your success, because you have the power to do that. Choice, you're choosing. You are where you are for a reason. Choice, not chance, determines your success. Before I run off for this break, I want to do another shout out for Jose Escobar. Is the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out his Entrepreneur's Bookshelf to learn more about his morning and evening routine mastery program that's changing people's lives. And that's not hyperbole. It absolutely is. This program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up your free strategy session today with Jose Escobar at the Entrepreneurs with an S, entrepreneursbookshelf.com. That's an incredible program. And if you're not have some kind of a routine on the morning and evening of your day, you're fooling yourself in terms of getting the maximum out. That's just the reality of it. You're at the level you are for a reason. At whatever that is, whatever that looks like, there's a reason. If you have a routine for morning and evening, I know what tomorrow's going to bring before I ever get to tomorrow. Before I go to bed tonight, I'll know exactly what's happening tomorrow, mostly. And again, right? Life is what happens when I'm planning, right? Life is what's happened. That's what's happening. Life is going to happen anyway. It has its own plan. But I want to have some idea, hey, you know what? This is what my anticipation for tomorrow is. And I have a plan. That way, when I get up in the morning, I know exactly where my day's going. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about the benefits. So we talked about types of self-awareness. Where this time we're going to talk about next segment, we're going to talk about benefits of higher self-awareness, why we want to do that. What is the benefit of that? You're going to want to write it down. So make sure you have your journal. As you go to a break here, don't forget to pause and breathe. Pause and breathe to ground yourself, to let it percolate where you're sitting. I will be right back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. And today we're talking about reconning our life, a deep dive into self-awareness, understanding ourself. We need awareness around who we are, who we're being, how much we have in terms of strength, how much we have in terms of weakness, where we are, where the opportunities are, where's the threats in our life, where are the things where we have to be careful of. It's almost a SWOT. But we want to have and understand what our self-awareness is. What's the benefit? So we've talked about the definition, what it is. We've talked about the types of self-awareness, public and private. We've talked about, in terms of the definition, I want to talk a little bit. Why would we care? Well, who gives a crap, right? At the end of the day, benefit. What's the benefit of having higher self-awareness? Having higher EQ is what's going to happen. But what's the benefit of being able to do some introspection? And I'm going to keep challenging you. Are you doing any introspection? And I want to thank you to everybody that's listening. I know there's people from all over the world listening. I've talked to some people, some clients and some friends, some family this morning already that had talked, hey, I'm going to be in the car, but I'll listen. I'm going to be literally all over the world. And I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate that so much. And I'm trying to expand that as much as I can because it's important to me. It's important to get the message out. More people need to hear this message. They can change their stars. They can change what's in their car. They can make their life what they want it to be. They don't have to go. It's not required to keep putting it out there in a way that's not fulfilling to them. But it requires work. It requires understanding who we are. And it requires being in touch with what our worth and our value is and being able to hang on to that and live out of that, find our power and our strength there, and then having the courage to step into that. You got the guts? Do you? I'm challenging you. And you know what? I'm talking to me as much as to you. Do I have the guts? I talked to a client this morning. I said to him, I'm preaching to me as much as to you. I don't mean to be preachy. I don't want to be preachy, but I want you to hear the passion. And it's not anger and it's not frustration. It's passion. What you're hearing is me wanting desperately for you to understand what the concepts are. Because if you understand what self-awareness is, if you understand what your true worth and value is and who you're being, your life gets better. It won't help me. Your life gets better. But you have to do something. There's involvement. You have to execute. Extraordinary is just that little bit of extra. And at the moment, you don't have to do a lot. Unfortunately, the bar is on the floor to get to be extraordinary. There's some incredible people on this planet. There's some incredible people on this network. There's incredible people in your life. I'll guarantee it. Do you plug into them? You have the self-awareness and the strength and the courage in your own self-awareness and your own who you are to be able to step in and ask other people for help, to find other people, surround yourself with people that will lift you up and celebrate you. Do you have the courage for that? I surround myself with people that are raving fans of me, mostly. I hang out in places like that. Doesn't mean there's everybody in my life is a raving fan. I'm saying I surround myself with the closest people to me. I want to spend more time with those people. So benefit of having of deep diving into your self-awareness, having better self-awareness. Benefits: it gives you the power to influence outcomes, not control them. You can't control the outcome. But if I have self-awareness around what my strengths are, I can influence that outcome. I can influence what's happening around me. If I have good self-awareness, I have better decision making. I can make decisions much faster, much smarter, much more informed if I have self-awareness. If I have understanding, I understand things from multiple perspectives. I'm not stuck in my own. If you understand what bank is, I can look at all the, right? I can look at it from blueprint. I can look at it from action. I can look at it from knowledge or nurture. I can look at it from somebody else's. I can step into their shoes if I understand who I am. If I have self-awareness, I can look at it from other perspectives. When someone says something to me, I can go, you know what? Wait a second. Can I look at it from their perspective for a second? Can I step into their shoes and understand it? That's happening in the pause. You've heard me say before, stimulus, pause, the power's in the pause, respond. but I have to understand. Number one, I need awareness around stimulus, pause, respond. I need awareness around who I am so that I can respond, not react. That's a different thing. Reaction is a primal thing that where there's no logic. It's full of emotion. Reaction in the moment, instant. We do it all over the place. We hurt people. We blow up relationships all over the place. If we could pause for just a second, and we have the ability to do that, but we need self-awareness to be able to pause. Challenging all over the place. I hope you're picking that up. If I have self-awareness, it frees me from assumptions and biases. Why? Because I can step into somebody else's shoes. I can look at it from their side. It gives us greater ability to regulate our emotion. That's EQ. To regulate our emotion. I have to know what it is. I have to have an awareness around what my emotion is. How do you regulate something that you don't even know what it is? Or how to even be in touch with it? I have to be able to be in touch with it. It decreases stress. Ding, 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 ding. Anybody want to decrease the stress in your life? There's good stress and bad stress, I know. But do you want to decrease the bad stress? Get to know you better. Understand you better. Have self-awareness, private self-awareness at a level that allows you to decrease your stress. And it makes you happier. We get happier. Why? Because we feel more fulfilled. Why? Because we understand who we're being. We understand we have self-awareness. We have understanding about who I'm being. And then I can change that. If I don't understand or I don't have awareness around who I'm being, I can't change it. I have to become more aware, more self-aware of who I am. I want to envision myself, right? I want to be able to see myself from the outside. How does this look? And again, I don't care what other people's opinions are, but I want to be taken seriously as a professional. People are coming from the information. Something I learned from one of my gurus. You know what? They would do a workshop and once in a while their clothes didn't come across the border or they didn't come in the plane with them. They lost their luggage, whatever, and they would show up to do the workshop with jeans and a sports shirt on. And people would go, oh man, for the money I paid, well, you could have dressed better. And he would look at them and go, did you come to see my wardrobe or did you come to get the information? Well, I came to get the information. Then shut up and take a note. Come on, focus. It's not about what the messenger looks like. It's about the message. Don't get caught up with what the messenger looks like. Find somebody that connects with you, because we're all preaching basically the same type of thing from a different angle with our own personality attached to it. But find somebody that resonates with you, that talks your language, that you go, oh, I connect with this person a lot for whatever reason. It's authentic, or I like the way they talk, or, some of us go, you know what? I can listen to everybody. I can listen to John Maxwell because he's a preacher. I know people that he puts to sleep because they're like, oh, it's not exciting enough. And I know people that won't listen to Grant Cardone or Tony Robbins because it's too in their face. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't go, hey, I'm not going to plug into their information because I don't like them. But find somebody that connects with you. It will help you with your own self-awareness. And if you need help with that, I operate and work with pro athletes and elite entrepreneurial men, but I'll work with everybody. That's where my focus is. That's where my heart is. My heartbeat is for pro athletes and entrepreneurial men, elite ones. That's because I'm an elite entrepreneurial man. And Papa and I call God Papa because of my relationship with him, but he put pro athletes in front of me. So I'm here to help them. I'm here to raise their emotional quotient. I'm here to give them the tools and strategies they need to move themselves forward. If that resonates with you, reach out. Ask thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Reach out, engage. And I want feedback. I want engagement. Tell me, Gord, this is awesome. Thank you for putting this out there. I want to hear that. I need that encouragement sometimes. But I got thick skin. I spent 25 years in the car business. I got thick skin. Gord, you're full of poop. But challenge me. I read stuff that I know I don't agree with because it pushes me back and makes me understand self-awareness, understand why I believe what I believe. And sometimes I hear something that I go, whoa, you know what? I never thought of that before. And maybe it tweaks what I'm thinking. I have a more well-rounded idea around what that belief is. Reach out to me. And you want to plug in. I've got one-on-one. I've got group. I come and talk to your group. I can be hired for that. I've got books. There's lots of ways to plug into me, but reach out to me. Reach out to me. I don't work with everybody, but I want to be here to support and help you. If that makes any sense, reach out and ask for help. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes strength to go, you know what? I can't do this by myself. I need help. Please help me. That takes courage. And I applaud that. That authenticity, that transparency, that vulnerability is critical. And if you can get to there, you'll reach out. But that takes self-awareness. Spend some time introspectively looking at where you're at. How are you showing up? Have some self-awareness of who you are. It's imperative for your EQ to go up. I have to take another quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk just real quick. We're going to do a quick wrap. We're going to do a call to action. We're going to talk about next week again, right? Choice, not chance, determines your success is the topic next week. That's the 13th, same channel, same happy beard. You'll find us next week. But choice, not chance, determines your success. It's up to you. But we have to understand first what our awareness is. I have to be self-aware to be able to move out like that. So again, don't go anywhere. Reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Let me know you're here. If you happen to be in here today and you're listening, from wherever you're listening, please pop into the chat and just say, hey, hashtag replay or hashtag live, whatever you're listening. If you're here, hashtag live. Let me know where you're listening from. I would really, really appreciate that. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. That's me on Inspired Choices Network. Can't wait to see you in just a minute.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Long-Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network, and thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. If you haven't heard it yet today, I love you. And that's coming from my heart. That's agape, by the way. That's basic human love. That's not I want you. That's basic human. You're a human. I love you. I'm a human. I love you. Big hugs. Big hugs. We're talking today about reconning our life, a deep dive into our self-awareness. Got to be self-aware. We've talked today about what the definition is, right? The simple version, those who are highly self-aware can interpret their actions, feelings, and thoughts objectively. The definition, types of awareness, right? Public and personal. We talked about that, how that works. The public, I don't care what people think of me on the outside. I do care what I think of me on the inside. We talked about the benefits of having self-awareness. Basically, my life gets better. My EQ goes up. My emotional quotient gets better. My emotional intelligence, if you want to call it that, gets better. That means my life gets better. My relationships get better. I become a better dad and a better husband and a better boss and a better employee and a better human and a better brother and a better son and I just get better. I raise my level. I up level. If you want to be better than you are today, you got to do something different than what you have before, because your best brain got you where you are. And that's fine. That's your best brain, right? But if you want to get better, you got to add something different. So that benefits. What can you do? So call to action. Okay. What can you do to be more self-aware? Can you spend some time exploring your own self-awareness? Write it down, journal it out. As you meditate with it, write the ideas down. This is who I'm being. This is my self-awareness. Here's my strengths. Here's my weaknesses. Here's areas of opportunity in my life. And here's threats to me moving forward. That's SWOT, right? SWOT. Businesses do it, but we can do it on a personal level. Write it down, journal it out. What are your strengths? Be self-aware, folks. Be self-aware. Know who you are. Know your worth. Know your worth. It's important. It's radically important to know what your worth and value is. You have infinite worth and value, by the way. Infinite for no other reason than you are. For no other reason than you are, you have infinite worth and value. I don't know who needs to hear that today, but clearly somebody does. That's coming out. But then share that with me. Write it down, journal it out. How can you be more self-aware? Explore your own self-awareness, and then write it down, journal it out, and then send it to me. thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. You want to be held accountable? Pop it out. Next, I hope that helps. I really hope you're hearing my heart. I really do. I care. My tombstone's going to say, I always knew he loved me. I want you to know interaction with me. We may not agree on everything. We don't need to. We're different humans. But at the end of the day, you know, I give a crap about you. I love you. I want you to do better if you want to do better. Next week, again, Friday, September 13th. Oh, Friday the 13th. A bunch of bikers at Dover. But anyway, next week, choice, not chance, determines your success. It's up to you. It's your choice. You can make it what you want it to be. You can make it another great day. You can make it. It doesn't matter what it's been. Choose to make it better. Choose to make it what you want it to be. We're going to talk about that in depth next week. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your journal, bring something to write with, bring your friends, share it out. But please, please join me next week. Join me on the 13th. Same station, same network, same happy beard. You'll find me next week. But please, please plug in. And through this week, have some self-awareness. Be courageous to find out who you are, who you're being. Be unapologetically you, unabashedly you. That's unique. Be you. No one else can do that. Make it another great week. Make it. You have the power. Live out you abundantly and with intention. I love you. Massive hugs. And I want to leave you with a question. Who are you being? This week, focus, self-awareness. Who are you being? And I'll see you next week. Lots of love. Big hugs. Gordon D. Melville.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D. Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs!